I'm Matt with eTrailer. Today we're going to be talking about the Thule OutPace Bike Rack on the back of our 2017 GMC Sierra 1500. Now this can be a nice option if you're looking for a bike rack that's going to be super compact, so when you're not using it, you can just store it somewhere in your garage or even in the back of your truck. So let's check it out. So we're mainly going to be focusing on how it's going to interact with the Sierra. So the first thing I want to point out is how our bike's looking in relation to our vehicle. So everyone's bike's going to be a little bit different. So we put a larger mountain bike with some wider handlebars over here. And let's say you're on some bumpy roads, we still have plenty of clearance where we're not going to make contact with anything. Now we want to be able to open up our tailgate all the way, but we can tilt it back. And even tilting it back won't grant us full tailgate access, but it does help us out a bit. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to have a pretty decent tilt, even though this can handle those e-bikes upwards to 55 pounds per bike. But when I pull this down, you're going to see we're going to make contact with the bumper here of this bar. So that's nice that it is plastic on this more rounded metal contact. But if you don't want that touching, you could just hold it up, and if you need to put any smaller items away, you can do that. Once you're done, you can put this into the seated position just by pushing on it until it clicks. So from here, if we want to take a closer look at the rack, I'm going to remove my bike. So on the back side, we're going to have this strap. If I press down on that, that's going to release it. If I go the opposite way, that's going to ratchet this down, give you an extra tight hold. And then if I remove that one, go to the front side, we can remove both of these straps. Since there's two of these, that's what kind of gives you a really good hold. And then we're going to have a third one that makes direct contact with your frame. You'll also notice there's a lock cord built on there, and that's how we get a really good solid hold. Now we are going to be making frame contact, so if you're not a big fan of that, I'd recommend checking out the Thule OutPace, another really compact option, but it's going to have a higher weight capacity, and instead you can actually make contact with your wheels. Now let's take a closer look at those cradles. And what's unique about these cradles is when you're not using them, you can fold them up just like that. I personally like to keep mine out, and I'll show you why here in a second. But first, let me put all my straps up so it looks a little bit nicer. Same thing for the front side. And next thing I want to do is get a couple measurements. The first measurement I'm going to be getting is going to be our ground clearance. So we go to the furthest point out to the ground. This is going to be about 32.5 inches. That's plenty of clearance. Now our truck is just slightly lifted up, so if yours is at stock height, you might have a different measurement, but still, you're going to have plenty of room there. Now for the total distance out it sits, this is going to be back bumper. That's going to be 28 inches. Pretty compact for a 2-bike carrier, but you will notice when you have 2 mountain bikes back here, it might feel a little bit tight, but you can still get it to work. Now earlier when I was talking about folding these in, the reason why I don't like to do that is when we fold it up, it's going to block more things on the back of your vehicle. So right now, we can still kind of see our license plate is going to be slightly obstructed, and our backup camera is going to be slightly obstructed with this rubber cord in the center. But if I had these folded in, you wouldn't be able to see any of that. And if they are folded out, they're going to be still within distance where it's not going to block your taillights, and you don't have to worry about your back window being obstructed. But let me see how close this sits to our vehicle, and that's going to be a little bit under 11 inches. So that's really compact for a bike rack back here. Now the way this is going to install is we're going to have this anti-rattle device on the back of it. It'll also have a lock cord too. And the way this works is you just turn it, it tightens and loosens. And what's nice about this is you don't have to worry about having any extra tools on hand. You can just do it with your hand, and it's built in. So you're not going to lose it either. Now up front, we're going to have this 1.25" shank that goes into our 2-inch hitch receiver. The way that's possible is because we have this 2-inch sleeve adapter on it. And it's going to come with your kit. And we're going to have this hook that goes through and connects to this pinhole right here. And this is a really easy process to take off. All you gotta do is lift on there, pull it towards me, and there we have it. And we can make it even more compact. I could simply just fold these cradles in, just like that, pull on this rubber cable in the back of it, push down, and there we have it. A shank folds up. So in your garage, this is basically going to take up no space at all. Or if you realize you're on a trip, you need to take this bike rack off for whatever reason, I can just simply pick it up and throw it back here. And some people might ask why you wouldn't want to put your bikes back here. One of the reasons you might not want to do that is, one, lift up your bikes that high, it's going to be a little bit of a hassle, and two, your bikes are going to be on top of each other, getting caught in the spokes and whatnot. It's just going to be a pain to deal with. Now, what I like about this one when I compare it to other options, again, it's just going to be more compact, but if you need the ability to carry even heavier bikes, and you want the ability to carry those carbon frame bikes, again, I'm going to recommend the Thule Epos. But either way you go, you can't really go wrong. And of course, if you guys have any questions, let us know here at eTrailer. And again, I'm Matt, and thanks for watching.